Hey, this is Geoffrey Giuliano, VIP 4 from Squid Game. I thought we'd have a little talk. The acting of the VIPs, all of us, was exactly what we were instructed to do by the director, by the script, in order to fulfill his vision, not mine. And indeed, Netflix approved it to the point that not a single word of my part was edited out. I mean, what you see in our episode 7 is exactly what we did. Now, if you're Tom Cruise and you're of a mind, you can just tell the director, well, I don't like this script, and throw it out. But if you're any other actor, pretty much you can't do that. I did say to the director, may I go over the script? I'm a writer and I'm happy to fix it up, no extra charge, and just punch it up a little bit, not fix because it wasn't broken, just punch it up. And they said there's no time for that, but thank you. Okay. Then, subsequent to that, when I was performing, I ad-libbed, which I almost always do. If you look at my film, Peninsula Train to Busan, you'll see that, well, you won't see because it's seamless, but you know, about 30% of that dialogue I made up on the spot. So I'm an ad-libber. I do that. I think of the script as a sort of skeletal structure that I, as a performer, can color and put tonation on it. Well, the director again said no, and I understand that because this wasn't just a director, he was the writer-director. So he had a vested interest in seeing his vision on the screen, and that's what he got. We didn't deviate one grain of rice from what he wanted to what we did. So, it made sense if you look at it through this lens. Now, when we were doing that